Today in our OYB, the one-year Bible, that is found at BibleInAYear.com.
Or you can look at the right-hand corner of blessingbroker.com, our website, and you can have that link all the time.
We were in Nehemiah, 1 Corinthians, Psalms, and Proverbs, and it really spoke to us. And we had a call with my mom and dad afterwards to wish them a very happy 60th anniversary tomorrow. And as we were talking, we agreed on how much of a blessing it is to be in the Word together in devotions every morning to start the day. Well, we wanted to share a little bit of news with you from somewhere, let's call it Michiana. We're on the border of Michigan and Indiana, somewhere mid-state, central, northern and southern, anyway.
But in Indiana.
And we're in a beautiful campground. You can see we've got trees. They actually go all the way around us, which makes the signal a little hard with the Wi-Fi. But this is how we roll today, and we're coming to you
every day
from
now
our home and our office on wheels. And so we just wanted to share a little bit of an update of some of the things that are happening. We wanted to come to you with some news, but before we do that, you had a testimony from the road that you wanted to share.
Well, we have a testimony, but it all started with a gal a couple weeks ago. Actually, we were down in Kentucky. I say down because we are right now in Indiana, north of that, obviously. And she reached out after not having a conversation with her for a couple years. In fact, we've never even met in person before, but we were connected through a real estate situation. And she lives in LA area. And she sent me kind of a cryptic text, but it was asking, do you have some time to talk about a religious question I have? And so David and I were just sitting in here in our fifth wheel and chilling for the evening. I think we had just rolled into a campsite there. And so we called her, and literally an hour and a half conversation, we find out that she's Jewish, first of all. And second of all, that after being bat mitzvahed at about 13, 14 years old, she then, as she grew up, she spent about 20 years as a Buddhist. And she feels like there's curses on her, and she is just
she said she knows there's curses
she's just
on
in
her.
a really, really tough position right now, and just really needed some solid, spiritual conversation. And at the end of the conversation, it was so amazing because she gave her heart to the Lord. She asked Jesus in her heart, and since then we've been discipling her, and we've had a lot of conversations, a lot of prayer with her. She's reaching out and asking for prayer. And so if you guys can just pray for Carrie, I'm just going to say her first name. If you can pray for her, that the Lord would just really root deep a desire to learn about his word and about the foundations and roots of her faith as not only a Jewish person, but now also a completed Jew, a believer.
Yeah. And after our conversation with my folks, we had a conversation with a partner that is working with Israel, and we got to be really careful about the details and the names. But let's just say that they are doing amazing work at bringing liberty and freedom and justice to those who can't afford an attorney.
Yeah.
And so they're bringing free legal help, but it's not free. It's done because of your generosity or generosity of people just like you who are helping fund what they're doing. So right now, there are wounded warriors, as we call them here, or Israeli soldiers who have just a myriad of hoops to jump through, a lot of red tape and bureaucracy that is keeping them from expediting the medical care and facility that they need for a healthy recovery. And so So our friends are fighting for cutting through that red tape and expediting the processes. And it's just a beautiful thing. And so much has happened recently because of the generosity of our friends and family.
And one thing I'll mention also is he specifically said that these soldiers actually would be spending half of their wages to get, the attorney or legal help in the situations that they're in. And that's not all that they do. I mean, they do many, many other things in the legal field there in Israel, but specifically focused on believers and fighting for their rights as religious freedom.
And we have 11 other things going on, but we don't want to overwhelm you with the details. That was the most profound and important thing to share with you right now. So if there's any question about some other needs, opportunities, and work that is or could be done, just pick up the phone and give us a call. In fact, getting a text and phone call along the way has been so encouraging. Mm-hmm. So we feel your prayers. We thank you for them. We thank you for your partnership. We are family, and we love you, and we thank you for giving a few minutes and listening to this message. And I want to leave you with one other thing that we had from our 1-year Bible reading today, and it was the Apostle Paul, who was writing to the Corinthians, and this is in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, in verses 1 through 18. I'm just going to read chapter 9, verse 14. In the same way, the Lord had ordered that those who preach the good news should be supported by those who benefit from it. Yet I've never used any of those rights. And I'm not writing this to suggest that I'm going to start now. In fact, I would rather die than lose my right to boast about preaching without charge. Yet preaching the good news is not something I can boast about. I'm compelled by God to do it. Mm-hmm. How terrible for me if I didn't preach the good news. And the commentary from Tom Dooley in our OYB, I thought was just beautiful. Yeah. He said, we do not have the right to give up our freedom because it's been bought by the precious blood of Jesus. But we do have the freedom to give up our rights. In fact, we need to give up our rights because we are commanded by this word to submit to the authorities that are placed above us. We want to thank you for being a blessing. Thank you for your prayers as we navigate and travel through different states and different laws. And we want to encourage you to go out and be the blessing today.
Yeah. And once again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We can't do this without you. You are partnered in the gospel with us, with Blessing Broker. And we just want you to know that we're praying for you. And we want to know how specifically we can pray for you. So if you desire to send us a text back after this video, after you watch it, please do, because we want to know how to pray and intercede specifically for what's going on in your personal lives. And we love you so much.
And remember, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Yes. They shall prosper that love her.
Yes.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
God bless.